Hello everyone and welcome to launch day of HHL Digital Space and our second batch. We are thrilled to have you all here today. Here means in this virtual live stream. We know it's special times for all of us, but we are still very proud that the second batch has made it until today. And we're here to celebrate them and their business ideas. And we're also proud that we are supported by a great team. And I can say, I'm Sophia, I'm the managing director, but there's so many people who contributed to this great day. And I want to give a big shout out to all of them that they made this possible. And also to HHL, who is supporting us on a regular basis and gives us great resources and ideas as well. And I will have our Dean, Professor Stephan Stubner, with me on stage in a minute. But let's first of all have a look at what we as Digital Space are actually doing. As I mentioned already, at the core of our activities, we have our 12 weeks incubation program. And the 8 teams from our batch number 2 that are presenting here today have gone through this. And it's been an intense ride. We can surely say they have invested a lot, blood, sweat, and tears. But they are here today to present their business ideas and to inspire you as well. Because we know many of you might be interested in founding their own startups at some point as well. And that's why we are also offering entrepreneurship events. So you don't have to be necessarily enrolled in our incubation program to be part of one of the great talks we are offering with our numerous founders that we have from HHL alumni, or maybe you have checked out our podcast Gründer Guide already, it's in German. And we invite you all to find this on the streaming platform of your choice for podcasts. And last but not least, we're proud to have a great community and network as well. And in a minute, I will also show you how you can become part of our community. So what is our mission at HHL Digital Space? We encourage new business ideas and enable founders and enrich the entrepreneurial ecosystem. And that's what we're doing here today as well. And we have a special launch day. As we said, it's our second batch, so we've done this before. Maybe some of you joined us. I can give you a little insight into what has happened in the last year already. But we are very proud to have the Best of Seed award here today as well. And this is an established format already, and we are very proud to have 3 finalists that did not take part in our incubation program, but have great business ideas, and they will present this to you in pitches as well. And so this all then brings us to a great award that we are happy to grant today, together with the Karl-Kolle-Stiftung. 3,000 euros are going to the winner of this award, and you all can vote for them. If you are in the streaming platform, we know there have been some hiccups shortly before the stream, so make sure you're finding the email address that you registered with in our Eventbrite website, and then you can register for our streaming portal, and there you can vote as well. So it's important if you are on YouTube, because the other platform didn't work in the beginning, try it again with the password that was just sent to you, fly in space, and with your email address. That's important that you registered previously on Eventbrite. But as I said, it's time to celebrate, and we had a lot of fun already. And it was so good to start the first batch last year or physically, and now continue virtually. Yes, it's been a tough time as well. We had to learn a lot and grow ourselves. But this wouldn't be possible with a great network of partners and supporters, as I said already. We are proud to be part of HHL Graduate School, Leipzig Graduate School of Management. We are also backed by the Federal Ministry of Economics and Affairs, and we have great supporters for private institutions that are helping us also financially. If you feel like you want to contribute to these early stage founders that definitely need your support, I can tell you, feel free to reach out to us. And we're so happy to make this work and jointly collaborate on this mission. I'm standing here today. We have very few people in the room. We are in Leipzig at Media City in a very professional studio bringing this live stream to you. But it's not just me. It's a lot of different people that are contributing in our team. First of all, I have the academic lead who's supporting me in the management team, Junior Professor Dr. Dominik Kannbach. We have many more names. I know we are all short of time these days, but I just want to say a big thank you to all of this team and beyond for creating this great experience. So, what's expecting us today? We're in the middle of the opening and welcome. That's from my side. I'm Sophia, as I said already. I will be moderating most of the day today. Of course, the pitches will be run by the teams. And I'm also very excited to welcome Constanze Buchheim here for our keynote, We Rise by Lifting Others. Super excited about this. Then we will start with the first batch of pitches. It's going to be 4. And then we send you in a little coffee break. We have learned after a lot of Zoom meetings, Zoom fatigue is not as bad if you do proper breaks, so we encourage you to take this break. And then we will continue with the finalists of the Best of Seat pitch contest. And as I mentioned, you can all vote for them, and we will combine this with the jury votes as well. Then we continue with our second batch. So yes, you can see we have a lot of pitches here today. No worries, I will guide you through. And then we close with a wrap-up and goodbye. But now it's my great pleasure to welcome here on stage our Dean and supporter of HHL Digital Space, Professor Dr. Stephan Stubner.
Thank you, Sophia, for the nice introduction. Also from my side, a very warm welcome. I hope you made yourself cozy in front of your screens. I am here to talk a little bit about that digital space, as Sophia has highlighted, is not alone, but is part of a very active, very vivid, very entrepreneurial ecosystem. HHL was founded over 120 years ago by entrepreneurs. And since that time, entrepreneurship has been part of our DNA. Today, we're one of the leading European business schools. We have over 750 students, and we're very proud that many of them chose an entrepreneurial career. And also, we're very proud that others also acknowledge our endeavors, our activities in entrepreneurship. For example, the Stifterverband lately also awarded us the title Gründerhochschule for the 5th time in a row. So for 10 years, we have been the entrepreneurial school in Germany, helping students to find their entrepreneurial passion, trying out their ideas, and ultimately bringing them to life. But what do we do at HHL? We put everything that we do in research and teaching under our common mission. It's about your future. You come to us, and we do our very best to help you to develop in entrepreneurial and responsible and effective business leaders. Because we believe know-how is important. You have to know your nuts and bolts of management and leadership and entrepreneurship. But much more important than that is a certain mindset and a certain approach to thinking, being reflective, thinking twice about the decisions you're making, thinking outside of the box. And this is what we try especially alongside 3 different dimensions. Those dimensions are, and that is where our DNA comes in play again, are first and foremost entrepreneurship. We cover entrepreneurship in all its different dimensions, from very early idea generation, starting up a business, but we also discuss a lot about entrepreneurship in a corporate setting, so business development, innovation management, corporate renewal. We talk and help family firms in their succession processes and small to medium-sized enterprises in their renewal phase. And when we go back one slide, you see how we put this in a perspective of sustainable and leadership. Because very often, you know, when we talk about entrepreneurship in its different dimensions, we hear the question, is it really good to start a company, to build a business with the objective just to make money? And our clear answer to this is no. It's much more important to have a mindset where you also consider the impact that you're having, not only on your idea, on your team, on your business idea, on you yourself and your personal development and your career, or the organization, investors, but you have to think about the impact that you're generating with what you're doing on a daily basis if the idea that you have, that you're bringing to life, helps us to make this world better. So we have two additional pillars to entrepreneurship that are important to us. One is sustainability. In a typical triple bottom line approach, you have to think, of course, about the economic aspects. You have to build a business. You try to generate wealth in the society. You have the second dimension, society. So you're trying to do something good, or at least not harm anybody. And then you have ecology, one aspect that, especially in our times, sometimes tends to be forgotten too much. But if you're looking at the big issues that we are facing as a society, as humanity, a lot of them have to do with our ecology. And we try to discuss that and instill this in what we do in teaching and research at HHL. But a good idea, a forward-looking and entrepreneurial mindset, and the right attitude to reflectively think about what you do and how you can contribute is only worthwhile if you know how to bring it to life, and there leadership comes into play. It's important to be able to lead yourself, to understand where are your goals in future, how can you reach them, how does your entrepreneurial career or your non-entrepreneurial career contribute to yourself, to your personal development, but also how can you motivate, how can you inspire individuals in your own organization? How do you build organizations through leadership to bring your idea to life? And that is why I'm very proud that we have digital space in our ecosystem. Our ecosystem that spans from the very early idea generation. You come to digital space, you have an idea, or you have an idea of an idea, you have a starting point for a team, and then at digital space, Sophia and her team, they help you to bring that idea to life, to double check your hypotheses. You're going to be challenged, you're going to be coached. All of you who have been in the program know that it's both at the same time very challenging but very supportive. When you have mastered digital space, you have already a product, you might consider going to SpinLab. SpinLab is an accelerator, so it's focused on the teams that already have an MVP, that have maybe the first revenues, have pivoted once or twice, and it helps the teams to accelerate. And then we have the traditional offerings of HHL as a business school, through our education programs, through our lifelong learning and teaching offerings in executive education. And we even are there to help those that are in the renewal phase, specifically small to medium-sized enterprises, family firms, entrepreneurial organizations who are thinking about the next steps in their life cycle. So, welcome to this ecosystem. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm very curious to see the teams. It's been a while since I saw them last and had the possibility to discuss. And that said, I hand over to Sophia again.
Thank you, Stephan. In our incubation program, we start with the problem first. The teams have to start working with their customers. That's very essential, and we have seen this being very successful. Of course, you can be genius and start with your solution as well and be like, yeah, why don't we just put a lot of time and effort into this, and then after 2 or 3 years, once it's done, we see if it works. But based on research and our very pragmatic approach, we think that having your problem-solution fit defined first and see if it's valuable and realistic really sets the standards for successful startups, because we know you need an unfair advantage. And this can sometimes be being the first in the market. And if you're fast enough and you validate your business idea properly, you can win that market share. And this is the journey we're taking our teams in this 12 weeks program to combine really the problem and the solution in a very structured approach. It's 12 weeks. We structured this in 4 sprints. And here we are today. So this is the final point in their entrepreneurial journey up to now. And we want them to fly in space and be successful with their business idea. But we as Digital Space act the same way as our teams do. So we are customer-centered, and customer means our teams are in the center of our activity. We are hypothesis-driven. Most of us are doing research in some kind of way, and we work on hypotheses. So we want to validate and get to know pretty fast to see if our assumptions were right, and we can continue working with this in a validated manner. And the third point, we are fully dedicated. You can see, you can't see, unfortunately, the entire team here today, but there's so much power and enthusiasm. And personally, they inspire me every day, so I can highly recommend joining this community and working with us on our mission. Community, yes. This brings us to a cool early stage startup we started collaborating with last year already. So that's the startup of Montessa, based in Munich. And we are using their early stage startup solution to organize our own community. And you can become part of this. What you have to do is to scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now, or you use the link that is more on the top. And you can see different kinds of people, maybe even myself, and you can see what I consider my strengths or my interest. And based on this, we can get matched and we can start interacting. So this is your chance to even offer something to other teams that are still about to set up their own startup and become a mentor for them. Or you just want to connect with peers, maybe you're looking for a co-founder, or you see a team today that you find super inspiring, then we highly encourage you, become part of this community. It's protected, it's free of charge, and yeah, we want to build the largest early stage community in Germany together with you today. And with that being said, I'm very happy to welcome now here on stage Constanze Buchheim. She is an entrepreneur, a CEO, advisory board member, angel investor, so many more things. Constanze, we are very happy to have you here with us today, talking about We Rise by Lifting Others. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction, Sophia. And I'll start right ahead with introducing to my topic today, something I got really emotional about when I found this out, because I think it's a pretty cool message for a launch day, because basically your question today when you're launching and celebrating, not launching, but celebrating entrepreneurship today, you might be thinking, what is needed to land among the stars? So what brings us to the top? And of course, doing my business, working with a lot of executives, I get this question quite a lot. So what brings you to the top of everything, of business, of networks? And I was asked last week when doing an interview for the German Startup Awards, what's your key success? And I thought, okay, there are several things I could say. There are so many things that you can do right or wrong, or in your special way that you're using. But there's one thing that's really true for me, and I want to give you a little introduction about that before we're giving the answer. So coming from our earlier generation, we really got to know, or were said, it is about hard work. You just have to work really hard. Work, diligence, performance, just perform. And don't get me wrong, I believe hard work makes the difference, and especially in starting a business or in starting a career, you need to work hard. But the problem with working hard and with just being focused on working hard, you will end up in this situation. So you will end up in a situation of strong competition, because this message that doing the hard work and working hard, many people had that. So it's not the blue ocean strategy, so to say. It's not the strategy that helps you to gain that hockey stick situation, because you will end up in competition. And you will end up in a situation where you think your one and only solution is working harder and working harder and working harder. But it is not. This is what creates somehow the perception of what we call the glass ceiling. So just doing hard work and just focusing on that kind of brings you to a situation when you're feeling you're doing and doing and doing, and you're working and working and working, but you're not doing the hockey stick. And I found like a title for that that I really liked. Actually, it's not a glass ceiling; it's a sticky floor. So we just don't see the heaven. We're just sticking on the floor. And the question is, what brings us to heaven? What creates the hockey stick? And it's not a method. It's not doing more of what we did before. From my perspective, it's a shift of attitude that makes the difference. It's the same for so many things, and Albert Einstein said it before as well. We will not proceed with anything if we stick to the methods that we had been doing earlier. So we have to change how we do things and how we think about things, and it's really about shifting your attitude. And what is the attitude that we should work with? From my perspective, there's this saying, we rise by lifting others. What is meant with we rise by lifting others? It means, and Sophia just said it, it means being focused not on yourself, being focused not on your ego and not on the me, which is a part of hard work. If I work hard, I get promoted. It's really about how can I work in a way that's valuable for others? How can I use my time in a way that is creating something that is needed on the other side? And this is true for consumers, for customers, for employees, for friends, for partners. It's true for everything, because this is what relationships are about. So it is really shifting to a you perspective instead of a me perspective, without forgetting the me. And this is the new thing. Of course, there had been some leaders earlier who said, well, you should just focus on what you can do for the others, not thinking about yourself. I don't think that's sustainable. I think the big new thing is that while you're focusing on the others, you're gaining something for yourself. And this is, you need smart architecture in order to do this. As soon as you start acting and thinking like that, your network, your options, your opportunities will explode. I promise. Why is it like that? Because you're valuable. You're valuable for your network. Your network will say, okay, she helped me. It was really nice talking to her. It was really helpful talking to her. And this is the reason why I will keep in connection. That's basically the situation. Of course, that's not all, but that's basically the thing. And I promise it will lift you up. Just one thing you have to do is put off your ego and just start walking in the other shoes. And why is this working like that? And why is it getting more and more important? Basically, it's pure psychology. So, and that is a fun fact, basically the need for a V orientation or U orientation comes out of the I orientation of the individual, which sounds like a little bit strange, but it's true. Because everyone has certain needs and everyone is looking to fulfill his or her needs. The key to success is to understand that success is made by understanding these needs and reacting on these needs. And this is what customer orientation and building customer-oriented organizations is all about. And why do we need this? So why is this getting more and more important? Because from a social perspective, we moved up the need ladder in the Maslow pyramid, if you know that concept. So 60 years ago, we had been in the very basic needs of psychological safety, social safety, connectedness, things like that. And meanwhile, we're in a situation where self-actualization, and individualization, and the me is getting really, really important. So the most important thing that people focus on and the most important thing that people optimize on is always the one thing that is scarce. If it wouldn't be scarce, you wouldn't need to optimize. And the only thing that is scarce in developed countries is your lifetime. So your consumers, your customers, your employees, they're basically optimizing on their lifetime. And they're asking the question, how does this improve my life? How does this optimize my lifetime all the time? And this became more and more and more important because with the internet and with the media and information available, we got really, really, really transparent. So each of us has the option to compare companies, organizations, leaders, just everything at any time. So optimization, self-optimization is the reason why the need for a U orientation gets more and more and more important. And this is true for every area. Every area in business and every area in your life. I'll show you some examples. So first thing, Sophia said it earlier, first thing in being an entrepreneur is you have to build a great product. You have to build a customer-oriented product. A product that is coming up with a solution for a problem. And starting with the problem that is in the market and then thinking about the solution is the new way of building companies. And like listening to it and hearing to it, you might say, yeah, but what would be another solution? But the truth is, in history, we came up with, okay, we can do this, and we're just pushing this to the market. So it was the inside-out approach instead of the outside-in approach that I'm just talking about. And one of the famous founders I was working for, he always said, offer a great product and people find out. And I'm pretty sure that this is true. So if you are understanding the problem in the market, and if the market is big enough, so if a lot of people have the same problem, and you're coming up with a solution that's really solving this problem, you will be successful. It's as easy as that. And to make sure that you stay customer focused, you have to work with all the concepts, with all the product management concepts that came up during the last years. which are basically like getting constant user feedback, doing regular surveys, staying with the market, listening to the market, doing A/B testing, all those things. And so this is really true for product. It is true for sales as well. So thinking about the perfect pitch, thinking about the perfect marketing for your business, you can use this "we rise by lifting others" approach, the "you" approach as well. And I really love the Wolf of Wall Street scene. Maybe you know it, where Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't know the actor's name. Leonardo DiCaprio says, well, sell me that pen. And some people say, well, this pen is nice and it's blue and and that's basically the me perspective. That's the realistic perspective. And then someone, like he chooses someone different, says, well, sell me that pen. And he's saying, well, undersign this contract, I'll hand over $10,000 for you. And he says, well, I have no pen. And he says, well, this is how you create needs. And what I'm saying is not create needs that are not there. What I'm saying is try to walk in your customer's shoes. Try to understand what's their need. Try to understand what is bad for them just right now that you can solve. And while pitching, walk in their shoes. And don't sell them what you think is worth. Just walk in their shoes, understand their needs, and use these needs to create the best sales situations ever. Another part where this is true is leadership and HR, human resources. So thinking about your new company that you're just coming up with, thinking about your new company and how you will find the best employees for your company, you can use this approach as well. And I used the picture of two really important and great leaders to demonstrate that, because the same attitude, the you orientation, works best for creating great cultures. Talking about Martin Luther King, there's a story that that he was asked one day, how did you do it? How did you manage to bring 60,000, 70,000 people behind you for your marches? And he should have said, well, you are asking the wrong question. You are thinking that they are here for me, but they are not. I'm just representing a topic that is most relevant for them. I'm fighting their fight, not my fight. And this is the attitude that we need. So a really important thing in this we orientation, this we rise by lifting others, is understanding what is the topic I'm representing, what is the need I'm representing, and just feeling that you're representing this topic and bringing out the message, trying to find the ones who have the same topic and bring them behind you. And if you align this with your customer needs, you will create great organizations. And there's the story of Malala, and maybe most of you know Malala, fighting for girls' education. And I had the chance to be in a Zoom talk with her 3 weeks ago. I was really impressed by her. And she was asked how she made, or like how she managed to win the Nobel Prize. And she said, actually, it was not that hard. I was just asking the easy questions. Easy questions like, why should girls not be educated if boys are? I was just asking these questions for me and for all the other girls in my country. And it was as easy as that. And this is what I'm saying. Leadership is actually not a really strong or hard thing if you just understand the attitude that you have to be in to be able to lead. So true for HR as well. It is true for your investors, and you will face that topic. So if you're understanding that your investors have a certain need and that they're having a certain business model on their own, you will have the chance to think and walk in their shoes as well. So once you're preparing a pitch, and I'm happy that we will be listening to some later on, I'm really eager. Once you're preparing the pitch, always work in your listeners' shoes. So if you're talking to investors, you should be thinking about, okay, what's their business model? What is their need? What do they need to understand that this is the right solution for them, that this is the most important thing that they should start now? It is true for your network as well. Expanding your network, creating referrals, creating reputation is based on this approach as well. So if you're always thinking in, how can I do this in a very good way? How can I do this in a valuable way? How can I do this in a way that helps someone be successful? They will be ready to connect with you. They will be ready to refer, and they will be happy to grow your network because it's valuable for them. So this is the way how you create trust. And last thing where I want to show this, and you see I could go on and on and on and on with these examples, always the same. It's the message of, it's not about me, it's about a you and a we orientation. Last thing where I want to show this is true for partnerships as well. So if you're thinking about your co-founder, if you're thinking about your private partner, the important thing is to understand that they have a need as well. So basically, they're connected with you, they're in a partnership with you because you have something they need and they have something you need. And this is basically the glue for relationships. And this might change over time, but it's really helpful to understand what we can give to each other to be able to manage this relationship and to be able to manage partnerships. It's always about this, okay, what do I bring to the table here? Not from my perspective, but from the other ones. This is the important thing. And to make this happen and to make this a sustainable way of business and a life concept, there are three things that are needed to respect. One thing is that this concept is only working on a mutual basis. So if you're just thinking about, okay, what can I bring to the table? How can I help others? Not thinking about yourself. This is just hard work in terms of you will end up in a situation where people might just misuse it. So it's always about the relationship. It's always about being in the situation and creating kind of a symbiosis. A situation where 1 and 1 is 3. So both orgs, like both organizations, both individuals, can profit or can benefit from this relationship. Creating this mutualism, creating this both-sidedness is the side condition for this we rise by lifting others, because it's not about being altruistic. It's not about being bringing everything to the table, not looking after yourself. It's about the end. It's not about the or. So that's one thing. The other thing is that you really need reflection. You really need self-reflection. You need to understand, who am I? What is the topic I'm really, really, really passionate about? What is the topic I want to move forward? What is the thing? Who are the people I want to invest in because I believe this is valuable? And this really needs a lot of self-reflection, a lot of understanding, because creating a system where 1 + 1 is 3 means creating a system of perfect matches. It doesn't mean that you're working for everyone. You're working for those target groups, for those customers, for those people that you feel yourself are valuable for your topics. And this really means a lot of self-reflection. And the last thing that you have to do, you have to be a smart architect. So if we're thinking about creating a situation of 1 + 1 is 3, you really have to think about building a system, building an organization, building a world and a logic where, while I'm investing in you, I'm doing the best thing for myself as well. And this really needs some thoughts and some optimization. And this is not working in the beginning right ahead, but I'm pretty sure that entrepreneurs are architects. You really have to find an architecture that is sustainable in terms of, while doing the best for you, while being very customer oriented, I'm doing the best for what I believe in. And this is what I want to end up with, and what I want to tell you, and what's my mission. Yeah? I really think that we should create a world where 1 + 1 is 3, and create a system, a world of a symbiosis and not of parasitism, where 1 + 1 is 1, which we have just right now, and which means that we have to get rid of the ego. And we just saw it in the in politics during the last days, when Markus Söder and Armin Laschet were fighting for this title of becoming the chancellor. We just saw the egos fighting with each other, and it was not about the topic anymore. So there is someone losing. So either the one or the other is losing, and we are not creating a system, or we are not creating a situation where it's about the topic, where it is about the responsibility they have, or where it's about the social progress. And this is the reason why we really need this approach, this attitude, not only as entrepreneurs, but also in society, to take the next step, to move forward. It's creating a system of the end and not the or, a situation where we all win, and we are doing this because we are creating great organizations. And this is basically what, from my perspective, great entrepreneurship is about. It's being smart architects, finding solutions for problems that move us to the next level and bring us among the stars. Thanks for that.
Constanze, wait a second. I want to use your wisdom, because I know you are a member of advisory boards for startups, for other companies as well. So what is a learning that early stage startup founders can take on, where you have seen especially first time founders struggling when it comes to management positions? So what is your view on developing the skill, and what you can teach some of them maybe in advisory boards later on?
Yeah, well, in the first month of an organization, that task is a tough one, because you're always in the struggle. Of finding the right purpose, finding the right idea, bringing it to the market, and having the money for it, right? But that is exactly the thing that we have to switch, and I'm trying to help founders doing that. They're kind of too anxious. Mm-hmm. in most of the situations. Too anxious in terms of, yeah, but we have to keep it that, and they're thinking it too small. They're thinking it for a group that is too small, and they're not setting it up for the big thing, for the big move. And what I'm trying to tell young founders, really think about the big thing. Really think about the thing that you will change, and be ambitious and try to fight for bringing this ambitious idea into motion.
That's a very good piece of advice. And one last thing, what are you looking forward to with the pitches today? I'm pretty sure you are an expert in pitching contests already, but for the teams that are just very excited to be on stage in a minute, what is your core advice? What makes a great pitch?
Yeah, just what I was just saying. I'm really eager to understand why your solution rises, or like lifts us up, and why this is needed. And I really want to understand what's the problem that you're finding a solution for, because I guess that's basically it. And doing that, storytelling is a big thing. Okay. And storytelling is a big and important thing, because a lot of investors don't get the problem right ahead if they haven't experienced the problem. So in order to make the bridge to the investor, and this is true for this male-female investor discussion as well that we see, you have to tell the story to help the one on the other side understand the problem.
Okay, very good. Now we put you in our little spaceship here. Thanks very much. We are sending you to our jury now. And what happens now is that we are preparing for our first batch of pitches for today. As I said, we have a great jury with us already, and you have seen Stephan and Constanze, and the third one is Lukas. But as I told you, like the spaceship, it takes a bit of time. It has to go through some galaxies, and then you will see our jury in a moment. But I can show them to you on a slide already. So on the left side, you have seen Constanze here on stage already. She's a founder herself, is an angel investor, so maybe some financial questions coming from her side. And then the one you haven't seen yet is Lukas Hempel, and he's the managing director and founder of Booking Kit. I will introduce him to you personally in a minute once the spaceship is landed. And last but not least, Stephan, who's our dean and serial entrepreneur and investor himself, and is happy to share his wisdom. And there we are with the jury. They have landed safely in a galaxy far, far away from us. How are you doing? Oh, now you swapped seats. I have to say, now we have to...
I just got promoted.
Yeah. Fantastic. So Stephan is Lukas and Lukas is Stephan. But I think we all could see that Lukas is the new face in the row. And maybe Lukas, you can start introducing yourself while we're fixing this. Yeah, maybe we took a wrong turn around in the galaxy. You know, this sometimes happens. Lukas, what are you looking forward to today?
Sophia, great intro, and my pleasure to be in the spaceship here today. Yeah, I'm very excited following my journey. I had to found my first company at the age of 18, so I'm very excited to meet a lot of new founders today, and I'm very excited to maybe help you guys accelerate your pitching, accelerate your launch into space. And so we're very excited to see different pitches, different models, and different pains solved today.
All right, that sounds exciting. Just looking to the direction, do they have to swap seats in the galaxy, or are we fixing this on the fly? Okay, so then we ask you why this pitch is happening to swap seats, Stephan and Lukas, for the sake of completion. But we are about to start with our pitching contest. The first member is a special one. So we are expecting John here on stage in a bit, and I want to draw your attention to the contest that is taking place right now. So it's the Best of Seed Award that we are including here in this launch day of batch number 2 as well. And how does this work? So in the tool, like in the streaming tool, as I mentioned already, you will find on the right side, it might not be there yet, but it's coming once the pitches start, you will see the contestants of today that are from Central Germany. That's important. There might be slightly more teams pitching here today, but these are all the ones that qualify for the prize, because we are very pleased that we are supported by the Karl-Kolle-Stiftung, especially dedicated to startups here in Central Germany. And the winner of today will not only get 3K in a startup fund, but also a pitching slot at the Spin Lab Investors Day. And we are proud that we have this opportunity here today. I will show you the first group of pitches that are expecting us before the break. And the first one will be presents, as I said already. And it's a special week, and I want to point this out. It's Transatlantic Innovation Week. What does this mean? So the US and Germany, they have been great partners for a while, and we know that some people from the consulate, even from Leipzig, are watching this today and are supporting John because he's American. And you will hear this in a bit, that he is very proud of his heritage, but also today lives in Berlin, and his company and his colleagues has offices in Leipzig as well. And so this shows us how great international teams can work and how important this transatlantic collaborations are. So fingers crossed for this great week. And there's some more contributions that you can see from the consulate and from the embassy from the US. And now I want to welcome John here on stage with his startup idea presence. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is John McClellan. I'm a filmmaker, visual engineer, and co-founder of Van Roth. I've been in this production industry for over 10 years. And in March of 2020, that production industry shut down due to Corona. Shoots were canceled, jobs postponed, clients running for the hills. That's a $100 billion industry brought to a halt. With travel restrictions in place, people started looking at their budgets, noticing that one of the major line items was travel itself, making up 10% of all production budgets. That's $8 million on the average feature film. When you can't meet in person, and meeting in person is expensive or dangerous, you must work remotely. The problem is, a lot of remote solutions for the media industry fall short. They're either too complex, too expensive, don't provide collaboration, or they're just too low quality. That's where Presence comes in. It's your digital access point to set. Imagine directors in London, clients in New York, and ad agencies in Shanghai, all connecting and collaborating with those on set globally. Presence is the remote solution for the media industry, providing high-quality streams and simultaneous collaboration with those on and off set. Presence is run in a server node system. Clients set up a node, connect to it remotely via SatOS, our software, or via our hardware, Satellite Prime, and connect cameras and sound and begin streaming and collaborating. Here's a decentralized workflow using Presence. A node is set up by the production. Those working remote, whether from home, their office, or their post-production facilities, log on using SatOS. And those on set connect the cameras and sound directly into Satellite Prime or any third-party capture card. Lights, camera, stream. Presence reduces travel, lowers costs, which opens up the market to new potential players, and in the end, increases productivity and content creation. Presence will work with any production worldwide. In the US and the EU, they're spending 279 million euros every year on remote and production services software. In the EU alone, that's 140 million euros. So our obtainable market within the first 3 years is 41 million euros with 15,000 nodes operating. The team is myself, Robert Boggs, and Axel Roth. We have amassed 30 years in this industry with clients that trust us. We're the creators and users of Presence. We're currently testing Presence both here in the EU and globally in South Africa. We plan to launch in the beginning of 2022 with 1,200 nodes by the end of 2022, and by the end of 2025, 15,000 nodes. We're currently evaluating hardware partners and looking for partners to get Presence out into the world, invest, and begin the film production 4.0. Thank you. That's a wrap.
Thank you, John. That was an insightful pitch. I'm always mind blown when I see like the combination of your software and hardware skills, and can definitely relate to the struggles that your industry had in the first couple of months. But I want to call out our jury now, and I hope now Stephan is Stephan, Constanze is Constanze, and Lukas is Lukas. Hi there to the galaxy far, far away. So what do you think about John's pitch? Do you have any questions? Just to moderate this a little bit, we have around about 7 minutes now for questions and feedback for each of the teams. And what you don't see, we have a timer here, so all the teams have to stick to their 3-minute slots. That's set. And who wants to go first from the jury? What are your questions? Lukas.
John, I love your pitch, and I can relate to the problem, as both of my parents are TV producers, and I feel the pain.
Yeah.
And I also love, by the way, how this entrepreneurial mindset directly, we are coming out of this pandemic. You're bringing solutions, not more problems. I love it. I'm asking myself, you're getting so much tailwind from COVID, because obviously production today is going to happen remotely. But maybe 1 year, 2 years ahead, we won't have this situation anymore, and maybe I'll feel inclined to do it on site again. Won't the entire pitch stop once we go back into the studio?
Yes, thank you for that question. So that's something which we put a lot of thought into. So right now, the industry in general, remote work is the new norm. So a lot of people are getting used to remote work in general and see a lot of benefits post-corona. So we're looking at that as a lot of value moving forward. We did a lot of market research, talked to a lot of clients that we already have, what they thought. They think, a lot of producers don't actually need to go to set to keep an eye on things. They can be back home or in a production office. Also, tech's at a peak right now as far as the tech that's available for us to actually remote work and stream. So the prices have gone down, and the access point is there now, which our tech fits into that price margin. As far as the content pool, there's so many streaming services right now that need content, especially post-corona. So there's going to be a lot more simultaneous production. So one producer can oversee more productions because they can log on via Presence. They don't actually have to be on set. Also, going green, that's the whole industry in America. They want to cut down by 50% by 2024. So, we're looking at less travel, which makes a smaller carbon footprint, less people on set, less lunches for everybody. It's a trickle down from there.
More questions on this, Lukas, or shall we continue?
Thanks. I'll hand it over to Constanze.
Yes.
Yeah, my question would be, what's the competition and why did nobody do it before?
So there is competition right now. The thing is, a lot of people have been scrambling to find these solutions, and the only competition that we really have is only catering to the top 2% of the market. It costs 25,000 euros for one license. And after talking to a lot of our clientele, we talked about our competition. We asked them why they aren't using these services. And even productions that are doing 2,000 plus shoots a year do not want to have that high buy-in of 25,000 euros per license.
Okay, thanks.
So now, Stephan, you have seen John from day one already. Maybe some comments, feedback, or questions. What do you think?
Hey, John. Great to see you again. Thanks for the very inspiring pitch. I would also have a couple of questions. The first one for me would be, where are your scaling limits? I mean, what hinders or what fosters growth?
What fosters growth right now is basically what the pool of the industry is right now and how many shoots are going to be needed. So that's why we're banking on the fact that our assumption is that there's going to need a bigger content pool. There's going to be more content that needs to be created simultaneously. As far as a company size, it will be, in fact, trying to keep up with that demand. So that's where we see our limits as far as scale go, is how quickly can we service this many nodes in in a high quality and high standard that people trust.
So is a scaling limit due to people in your organization, or is it due to hardware, lack of bandwidth?
It would actually be people in our organization. That's why we're looking for funds, so that we can scale the people in our organization and have more people.
Okay, and if you would like highlight the priorities of your value proposition, obviously there's some hardware involved, there is the technology behind it, there's the service part of it. What are your customers really looking for? I mean, what is most critical?
Most critical is the service. That's, I mean, in the film industry, time is money. That's something that's well known. And to have the service that's there, that's reliable, a strong stream, good servers, strong servers, and customer service in the end. So having a good community management, having good service, that's what they're looking for.
And what would need to happen that you start earlier? I was a bit surprised to see that you will take your, the testing phase will take the rest of the year, and you plan to launch by 2022.
If we got a proper amount of seed money, we're looking at $1.4 million for the first 18 months, then we could launch even earlier.
And what would you need the money for? How would you spend it?
We would need that mostly for personnel. Personnel for development, mainly. To make, our first hires would most likely be developers and network engineers.
More comments from the jury. Would you like to invest?
I love to pitch again, and I was just asking myself, we are in a TV studio here, and I see tons of people, smart people, tech magicians, and now here you come and you say all of that, not the people, I know the tech, is going to be replaced by your technology. Why don't you start with one piece of it, do it really well, and then start with the next, but you say, okay, I want to cover everything from end to end. Why don't you start with a tiny bit of the value proposition?
So right now we're looking at it as an ecosystem and starting out as an ecosystem. So we're trying to cover the entire, from one user to the other, from camera to sound, because it's a market that we know, and it's a market that we're literally creating this because we are the users, and we're going to sets and we're already enabling this because we needed it. It's something that was needed already. So as far as the value proposition goes, we're focused on the software first. We're looking for a hardware partner later to start producing the hardware. So first it's the software, it's getting people used to the ecosystem of using the present server, and then later enabling Satellite Prime. That's why our software also works with third-party cards at this time. So people can get used to the ecosystem, so we are kind of breaking that value proposition down in time.
Thanks very much.
All right, one last comment. Constanze, do you have more to add?
Who do you think will be the right investor for you? Because my guess would be that if you're looking for 1.4 million and you're putting this into personal, I dare that there are not too many investors buying this in the first second. I like your ambition. I like that you're saying you're building an ecosystem, but I know that everyone is trying to build an ecosystem just right now. So I like your question, and that's a good point, and that's how just my question came up. Like, who do you think is your investor?
We're actually thinking of going after a venture client. So whether it's one of the major 5 studios first who could start enabling this, which would have multiple productions, or one of the major streaming studios such as Netflix or Amazon. Those would be people which we would look for as saying, we need to produce more right now, we're behind the curve. How can we produce more simultaneously?
Perfect. So
Thanks.
with that being said, I want to thank you, John, fingers crossed. And yeah, for everybody watching the live stream, applause. Make sure you're building your order already. You can vote for the top 3 finalists, or like the top 3 teams from the Best of Seed finalists and our batch 2 from Central Germany participants. And now we are switching gears a little bit. Yes, that looks amazing. I see Christian from Levooba. She's based in Erfurt today. Christian, thanks for joining us, and we start in a bit. Let me introduce your idea, your team shortly. So Christian is part of a team of 3 founders she will introduce to us in a bit. They are working on kids education based on voice technology. And what this is all about, she's going to explain to us in her 3-minute pitch. Christine, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Sophia. I hope you can all hear me well. So if I don't hear anything else, I will just go ahead and start. So hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm here together with Daniel and Sandra, and we are Levooba. And I can tell you, being part of Levooba is usually a lot of fun. But sometimes I see Daniel's worried face on a video call, or Sandra sends me a sad emoji. And I just know they had a fight with their kids about school and homework again. And if you ask them, they will probably say the same thing about me and my boys. So like us, so many families struggle with the home learning situation in school. And our core motivation is to supply relief, bring back the fun in learning for the kids, and also reduce stress for parents. How? With nothing less but a digital learning revolution. Say bye-bye to worksheets, staring at screens, and also sitting at a desk. And say hello to Levooba. Just listen, speak, and learn. It's that simple. We developed a voice app that connects kids via Alexa-enabled devices, and they can play together in fun rounds of live multiplayer games and study topics from school in a fun and engaging way. Our skill is already live in 3 countries, and kids can choose from different topics to learn. So why did we choose the voice market or the voice technology? Because it's growing rapidly. In Germany alone, 45% of the population use voice assistant devices, and globally, it's even more. However, the willingness to pay for voice apps is still quite low. And so during our time here at HHL, we discovered that the revenue of our product doesn't match the necessities yet. But we also found out we just can't move away from our core belief. We want to support education through voice technology. So we had to balance on one side our motivation of the founders, but also our financial struggles. And so we decided to refocus. And we want to start with a smaller target group of visually impaired learners, because we think they benefit from voice technology already. And we think this is a good start. And we will step up, step by step from there. And until the time is ready for more markets to conquer, and of course for us to become the leader of voice in education. So we will shape the future of digital inclusive learning. And we are still looking for a mentor that believes in our vision and is an expert in social entrepreneurship, and also has a focus on funding and finances. So maybe she or he is listening right now. So please go ahead and introduce yourself to us. And now I thank you for your attention, and my team and I are now ready for your comments and questions. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Very important topic, I think. It's, never done learning enough. I see Stephan wants to say, he's like, of course, enthusiastic educator himself. So Stephan, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. And at this moment, I'm just so humbled and impressed by the journey that you've been taking, because it takes a lot of guts
to use such a program to also understand where the limits of your idea and your approach are. And I can only congratulate for you to taking this bold move to refocus and basically take all the experiences that they've taken to now focus more on a new target group. So just before we start with other comments, I just wanted to highlight that I'm really, really impressed.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely great development that we have seen with your team as well. But yeah, let's look at it from the business side. Lucas, what do you think as a founder yourself, as an investor, would you like to
Again, I love the pitch, and I think we all sitting here, we can relate to it because we all have kids and we feel your pain. And again, I want to highlight how much I love that entrepreneurs sit there in the lockdown and they think of the pain and they think of a solution and not just saying, okay, this should be fixed, but let's fix it. So I buy the pain, I buy your solution. I'm asking myself exactly your question, is it a business or is it a hobby? And so my question to you would be, okay, I understand the swap in target group, but how does that change revenue models? As we sit here, I think within this session, more than 3,000 new apps arrived on digital devices. On voice, it's a bit less, but how can we monetize that in a world where it's very hard to monetize?
Well, I'm going to start, and then we're going to try and see if the technical background is working, and I will ask my co-founders to add to what I said. So first of all, thank you so much for your feedback. Well, we think the voice market is still, at a very early stage, and we just have a really strong belief that, especially in the world of education, we can just put something really important there through voice technology to help education, and this is why we think that this market will grow in the future. We see ourselves as very early adapters, and this is, as of now, part of our business journey. And our idea why we refocused is that we now look more into funding by an institution or something to get our program started. Our main issue is the production of content, which is really, just a big chunk of our costs. And we hope that maybe an institution or a social entrepreneur would be able to help us take the first steps, and then be ready when the time is ready for to add more markets, to scale up, also internationalize, and so on. But maybe Daniel, you want to add something, or Sandra? Let's try the techniques.
Yeah, me maybe. I can be seen. The thing I would like to add is that the market of visually impaired people, especially young learners, is almost forgotten when it comes to learning apps. So we are quite confident, but at the moment it's still a hypothesis, that they are more willing to pay for our solution than the broad market is at the moment. And that's why we start with them. But we still have to test this hypothesis.
I'm actually friends with the CEO of Westermann, Germany's biggest school education company. So maybe we can bounce it off him, and he might be able to help with the content.
Sure, good idea.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, maybe if we have the chance to hear Daniel, who's more on the technical side, what are your thoughts on scaling this business, making it a business, to help the jury understand your way forward? If Daniel can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, everybody. So the idea or the technical, the skill that we've created is scalable to all voice assistants. It is scalable to all different kinds of topics, not only to primary schools, but to secondary schools. As this is the first live multiplayer voice skill that is out there, we can also scale it to other topics, to like driving schools or whatever is out there. That it can also be used for entertainment purposes, to create a live multiplayer skill for like get the next movie trailer or whatever is on your mind. And this whole idea can be made like a white label solution for other clients to use this. So we can either have it as a platform for others to use, or use it as our own platform for our own content. And of course, we can internationalize it to all other markets except for, outside of Germany, UK, and the US. There are other markets, of course, and we are already in talks with translating it to Spain. So this is all possible.
Thank you, Daniel. We've got a question from our audience who's watching the live stream. They are asking, how do you make sure that there's no interaction of the kids with unknown people? Whoever wants to take that question?
I think Daniel can answer that best.
Okay. So our platform is set up so that you can join and you have to register on our website, and a teacher can put you in his class. So this is like the first problem. So only you can talk and play against other players from your class. And we also have an open registration. So you can register on our website and play against all other players against the world. But you don't have interaction with the player itself. You don't write, you don't get feedback from them. You only play with or against them. And so there's no point in, there's no point of contact with the other person except for having fun and playing the game.
All right, so last possibility for a comment, feedback, or a question. If the jury is fine with the answers that were given, give me a sign. Anybody wants to say?
Yeah, I would just add something to what you said. I think it's pretty cool that you're here and saying we're still in the process. It's pretty broad what you just brought up, and I think it's really about finding this. What is the value that we can create, and focus on the value that you can create and where you have a market. And what I could see and hear while you were talking, that you're involved not only with logics but emotions, and this is great. Because I think greatest products are built on emotions or like include emotions, but it is always a balance. And just this morning I had an advisory board meeting, and we had to talk about a project, and it was a darling project of the CEO, and like the whole board said, kill your darling. And we could say that because we haven't been involved emotionally, but logics were really clear. And my guess would be get some external perspectives. I mean, you're doing this just right now, but involve some more people, get more rational into your thoughts. That would be just one of my advices, to balance logics and emotions at this point, and maybe kill your darlings.
Yes, wise words. Thank you, Constanze. Thank you, Team Levooba. We are now, continuing here on stage.
Thank you for the opportunity again, and all the help we got from the HHL team.
All the best for you. And we continue here in our studio with the next pitch. We stay in the impact area. Now we're going to talk about sustainable travel. And I know travel sounds like so far away for all of us right now, but I'm very sure one day we will go to nice hotels and beaches again. And this is exactly what the next team will help us to do in an eco-friendly way. And I'm very excited to welcome here on stage Jeroen and Lilith from Charge Hotels.
Hello everyone, we are Lilith.
And Jeroen.
And together with you, we are going to shape the future of sustainable travel. If you look at those kind of pictures, you might feel a bit nostalgically. At the moment, it's quite not that easy to travel. However, we are really looking forward to be able to travel soon in the future again. And I quickly have a question because I think that the presenter is not going on with the presentation. I'm sorry.
Drehen mal um.
Okay. So we quickly swap the adapter, then it can go on. Yeah, so if you see those kind of pictures, you might turn a bit nostalgically at the moment, but we all hope that we are going to travel soon again. And we really have to change our travel behavior, because already before the corona restrictions, there was a tendency of a changing trend. More than 80% of the customers said that exclusiveness is the top priority when deciding on travel and trips. So we have a rising demand for customization and individuality. At the same time, we mainly can book over mass booking platforms on which hotels compete over price. However, other criteria are getting more and more important. Most important, the sustainability. 2/3 of people are saying that they are even willing to pay more for sustainable and eco-friendly travel. However, how can I find out and really trust eco-friendliness? It's really difficult as we have more than 150 sustainability labels and you as customer don't know what is greenwashing and what is really eco-friendliness.
Yeah, and that's where we from Charge Hotels come in. We provide our customers with an overview of the hotel's sustainability management, which is user-friendly and transparent. We also allow our users to
compensate.
To compensate, thank you. To compensate and encourage this for their trips. We also allow our users to see where EV charge ports are and which hotels have free charge ports available for them. And if we now look at our planned revenue streams, we of course have our traveler. They want to book a hotel, they want to book some attractions surrounding that hotel, and they might need a car. All of these transactions, we take a 10% cut, and yeah, that's one part of our revenue. The other part is with the hotels. Of course, we have partners which provide EV charging equipment and other sustainable products. We connect our partners and the hotels and take a 10% cut of that as well.
With all those advantages, we already have 6,000 registered hotels on our site and many confirmed partners. Of course, we want to increase the amount of hotels as well as customers booking over our platform within the coming months. At the same time, we are in the programming process and we are going to launch our first application in June. To make all of this happening, we need around 150,000 euros within the next year. So as time is running, we really have to act now as the environment is not waiting and we need a sustainable, friendly future and make sustainable travel the new normal. Thank you a lot.
So keeping everybody safe here. Now I'm in the frame. Thanks for your pitch. It's been, I think, a very important topic to all of us. Can you tell us a little bit more on your backgrounds? I know you're still studying, so what are the investors maybe buying into when they invest in you?
Yeah, maybe I can start first. I have been engaged in the field of sustainability since 2014. I have worked together with the WWF as a kind of youth ambassador. I'm still a youth ambassador for them in the topic of sustainability, and I'm also a sustainability coach for university clubs, and I'm really kind of engaged in this field. At the same time, I'm still in my bachelor degrees in the field of international relations, what is quite important when you're talking about tourism, as tourism is a global topic.
Yeah, and I'm Jeroen. I'm studying computer science at the TU Dresden, and well, I'm here for the technical difficulties that arise with such a problem. Of course, we have a number of hotels. We need to manage this data, we need to display this data to our users, and we need to keep our users' data private. That's what I'm here for. All right. Let's have a look at the jury in their galaxy. How do you feel about the pitch?
Sounds like a Stephan topic because there's tons of tourism experience here. So you got the wide galaxy. You know, BookingKit is also a tourism company, and I relate very much to the pitch because I thought about a very similar concept in a different area. What I ask myself is, like, is it a company or a feature? Yeah, because in the end, hotel booking is a red ocean market with like large companies by far dominating the market. You have Booking, Expedia, Trip.com, and then you have meta searchers, Trivago and DL. So, but they're basically eating up all the market share. And then long comes nothing. And I understand today you can't really filter for all the sustainability choices you suggest on Booking.com, for example. But if this picks up, Booking.com within 2 weeks sprint could just add a few more checkboxes on sustainability, and then Booking.com will basically eat the pitch. So I was asking myself, is this a feature or is it a company?
It's a really good question, and we have thought about it a lot. However, we still see it as a real new product. As you can see, that the whole process is not only just, okay, I want to book a trip and I just filter for other things, but it's really a personalized application on which you have your own profile. You can include, for instance, I have this e-car, I have a dog, I have this amount of children, and every time that you are booking, we are suggesting for you the best solution, kind of. So it's not only just a filter, but a whole integrative system in which we also want to include, for instance, the possibility to book together with friends, find people you want to travel with, or also that you can, in the end, remember your trip and connect it, for instance, to pictures, etc. So I would still be in favor of this being really a product, putting together many advantages, not only the sustainability, but as the foremost.
Are you buying this, Lucas?
It's hard. I decided against my pitch I did back then. So really it's a red ocean market, but let's hear from Stephan, who is a lot closer to the red ocean.
Maybe just one quick remark to that. Like, I've talked also to many hotels, and they were quite unsatisfied with the current solution of mass booking platforms. So we also hope that those hotels are really pushing us and are in favor of booking over us and not over mass booking platforms like Booking.com. So we kind of have the hotels a bit behind us. They want to have the customers going over us more. That's kind of what we found out in the interviews so far.
And I can second this. Typical in the market, as far as I've seen it, the inventory providers, hotels, etc., are not really happy with the big players because big players often dictate the conditions. But I have to also align with Lucas here that I think sustainability is becoming the new normal. So my question would be, how long do you have an advantage if you put this at the forefront of your value proposition and your pitch? Because ultimately, and the news is full, it will be much faster that combustion engines go out of the market. So the whole infrastructure for e-charging that will develop accordingly, and in the near future, it will be just abundant availability. But what you said last, that is where I actually see quite some potential, because you highlighted that sustainability is one aspect, but actually you're focusing more on the niche of people who want to have advice on where to go, how to travel, depending on their very individual profile. So sustainability is one aspect. We have different types of cars with different lengths, reaches, so it's a difference whether you have a Toyota or a Tesla with respect how far they can go. And if you can individualize to extend that, you say, I have a dog, I have 2 children, they're small, I need a potty, I need a charger for my car, and that combined profile, that is worth a lot. And if you have the possibility then to show this customer, you know, for your travel, going from, I don't know, Munich and going to south of France, these are the steps that you need to make, and these are your ideal spots where to make a rest, stay overnight, and spend 2 weeks of your holiday. I believe there's potential in the niche and in the individualization.
Yeah, thank you so much. We will take this into account.
I have a question. What is your key driver? So, where does the passion come from that you're on the stage with?
Yes, so I mean, it's really kind of difficult for our generation to see how fast the environment is decreasing. And as I say, it has ever been for me a topic, and I've always behaved myself and done projects in this area, founded sustainability clubs, and analyzed my whole school, still when I was at school, and suggested and calculated in which area they can save how much CO2. So for me, it's really on the one side, the sustainability aspect, and on the other side, that I see that traveling is really important and cultural exchange is so crucial that we should not say, okay, then I just stay at home totally. So I really want to find a solution to make it possible to still travel, what is really important, but on the other side, don't destroy our environment while doing that.
Yeah, and adding on that, we do see with the ongoing pandemic that the economy of traveling is in need of repair. And that's a point where we can attack and change things for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, time is up already. One last comment from you, Constanze.
I just wanted to give a big praise. I can see your power and your passion you're on the stage with. That was the reason why I was asking, and I'm with you. I'm not sure if I would invest in the model, but I would think about investing in you. I think passion and motivation and having power and to another word, will. I can see that, and I would have a second look on the development of the company if I would be thinking about investing.
Thank you a lot.
Very good feedback. Congrats on this. Still, you qualify as well for the Best of Seed Award, and the jury has a say to say, to some extent as well. So we thank you for pitching here on stage. That was Charge Hotels, and the next pitch will be virtual again. And there I see our champion already. Hi, Christian. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sophia. I'm fine, thanks.
So hello to the other side of Leipzig even, I think. And we are now talking to one of the founders of Capybara, who's in his home office safe and sound. And same rules apply. 3 minutes for you. Christian, the stage is yours.
Cool. Thank you very much, Sophia. So, my name is Christian. And do you know that there's one single question almost every parent asks themselves every weekend? I'll tell you in the next 3 minutes. Parents want only the best for their children, and they often don't have it easy. In addition to their job, their household, and of course, their own interests, they need to plan the time with their children to make the most out of it. And we at Capybara want to make life easier for all parents and families. We want to make the time together with children more exciting, more valuable, simply more beautiful. And here's the problem. Almost 7 million parents in Germany regularly ask themselves the same question. What are we going to do today with the kids? And people without children will probably say, what exactly is the problem here? And I'll tell you, answering this question is really not easy. There are many different opinions to take into account when answering the question. And there's also a desire for diversity. So the question regularly must be answered differently. One survey found that over 76% of parents are dissatisfied with the way they spend their free time with their kids or see clear potential for improvement. And especially now in pandemic phases, the problem really gains relevance. And Capybara is here to solve this problem. We want to give parents smart recommendations for an exciting time with the family, based on their family situation, of course. Parents no longer have to worry about what to do with their kids, but can fully enjoy the time with them. And to achieve this, we want to build the largest catalog of activities for families and kids, ensuring high quality content. And there's a lot of opportunity. In our serviceable available market, we target around 2 million families based on attributes such as income, location, interest in child caring, social media use, and of course, other things. And within the serviceable obtainable market of 495,000 families, we assume, based on monthly subscriptions for recommendations, a payment processing fee, and B2B advertisement, 14 million euro revenue per year. And now that you know that there's a huge potential, let me show you how we make money with Capybara. We have 3 major revenue streams you can see here: B2C subscriptions and one-time payments, and B2B commissions and transaction fees. For families, we offer a subscription for highly individual, fully planned day trips. That means they get each weekend or on demand a detailed activity plan, including a preparation plan, a detailed route description, including exciting stopovers, entrance tickets, and so on. The all-inclusive package. And we will start by turning our MVP to a complete product while staying in the local market, Leipzig. Once we got all critical features done and the right processes in place, we will expand to 11 regions, all major cities in Germany. And after this, we will make Capybara accessible to further 30 regions within Germany. That's for now. Capybara is me, Christian, and of course, my co-founder, Magnus. Thanks for your attention.
Excellent timing. Christian, that was a great pitch. I know all of our, I didn't count like how many children they have in total, but it's definitely more than one. So looking at them, what are your thoughts about Christian's pitch? What did you like? Asking the jury.
I think we are moving from Stephan's home turf to my home turf. So BookingKit is a B2B platform for tours and activities. So we relate very much to the activity space. I was asking myself a very similar question to the earlier question. Is it a product or is it a feature, a company or a product? Because there's massive marketplaces like Get Your Guide, TripAdvisor's Viator, and the likes. Then there comes long time, there comes nothing. And then comes the mid-tiers, and then it's you starting. And how are you going to compete? And once in the second this picks up, how do you avoid that just Get Your Guide, Viator, TripAdvisor, just add another layer saying, okay, this is kids friendly, and just take the money themselves?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. So we see within our competitor analysis that there's a huge gap between services you mentioned, like Get Your Guide, and so this is the one extreme. And on the other hand, you can find a lot of local communities on Facebook groups or something like this. And for example, for parents, it's really hard to get, or they really need a solution in between of those. Like Get Your Guide is some kind of too big for some sort of weekend activity. Like, let's say you know that you got 2 hours of time with your children, you will probably not use Get Your Guide for those 2 hours. But on the other hand, you have like local Facebook groups where parents share their knowledge about playgrounds and stuff like this. This is most of the time not really accurate, and the quality is really low. For example, they tell that there's a playground, but it's not there anymore. So we feel like there's a gap between those two kinds of extremes, and yeah, we would like to fill this gap.
Fair. Do you have thoughts on monetization then? Because then I understand, like zooming out maybe a bit in travel, you have this traveler's journey, which relates also to local travel to have this inspiration phase. Okay, where should I go? What should I do? Then the research phase, how exactly can I do that? And then the purchase phase. And I understand you're more competing on the first end of this game to say, okay, let's help me as parent with inspiration. Let's help me with like this research. But like, main travel companies struggle on monetizing that, both trying your models of subscription. I just to name like Lonely Planet, who really struggles with their digitalization strategy, because having such a strong brand, they still struggle to monetize. So how are you going to change this game?
Yeah, you're totally right. We already talked about this with Professor Stubner, and we know that since we start with this inspiration phase, there's a really hard need for a community. So there's a lot of work we have to put into building a vibrant community. And after this, we can start to monetizing this community. We know that this is really hard, and there are a lot of competitors already tried this. And but we feel like we have this power, and we talk to parents, and there is a problem. So there's really a problem. To be honest, we are not sure if we already got the right solution when it comes to monetizing our business, but we are totally sure that there's a problem and we can solve it.
And relating to the problem, I'll hand it over to the most senior member of this spaceship, which is Constanze with 3 childs.
Yes, indeed. Well, as a mother.
Hello and welcome back after our little coffee break. We hope you enjoyed some refreshments and are now fully energized for the next round of pitches, because we are looking forward to the best of seed pitch finalists right now. So let me explain this to you a little bit. The Best of Seed contest is an award that is granted by the Karl-Kolle-Stiftung, formerly also known as Best of Mitteldeutschland Award. And we are very happy that we have Professor Pinninghoff, who has been a continuous supporter of the Central German region with this award. And yeah, we are very happy that we have these 3 finalists that were selected by us from the HHL Digital Space and from the Spin Lab. And what can you win? 3,000 euros, yes, in the pitch during HHL Spin Lab Investors Day. And we want to welcome now on stage the 3 finalists that we selected here. First up, we will see Laura from Lavelio, and then we will have 4 pilots, and lastly followed by Terry. Same rules apply, 3 minutes pitch, 7-ish minutes, we might have to speed up a little bit now, from our jury. You can ask questions in the chat as well. We will try our best to accommodate these as well. And now I want to welcome here on stage Laura from Lavelio.
Hello everyone. I'm Laura, one of the co-founders of Lavelio. We empower content creators and influencers to better serve their community through data-driven decisions. There could be the misconception that similar pictures create an equal amount of reach. Here you can see 3 pictures of Caro Dauer, one of the most successful German influencers. Even though each picture looks pretty similar, they have created a very different reach. Reach is the new digital currency for social media marketing. For influencers, it equals success, because they can translate it into marketing opportunities. And that's why they need a tool which shows them how to increase their reach and how they can optimize their content strategy. We use AI technology to identify a number of different parameters and explain the connections. For Caro Dauer, we can say she reaches more people with pictures where she is slightly smiling and moderately confident. Our target customers are influencers, who are 83 million globally. Their average annual income is 70,000 euro. We talked to various influencers and saw that our tool could be used for different purposes, like creating showcases for potential cooperation partners. For a seamless experience, we will offer influencers an app with an AI-powered dashboard. There, influencers can find a profile analysis that shows their most relevant visual attributes. On top of that, we will provide industry insights. That means which content is trending in their respective industry, for example, the sport or the fashion sector. We enable influencers to increase their reach, better understand the preferences of their community, and choose the best fitting brand as a partner. There's definitely a market for social media tools. Our main competitors are SquareLoven and Later. However, our value proposition differs greatly. We will provide the deepest analysis. With state-of-the-art AI technology, we identify and analyze several parameters of the picture content itself, such as objects, face values, and colors. In 2025, the market for uprising content creators will be around 4.7 billion euro, and our forecasted revenue will be 5.6 million euro. In the future, our product can be easily expanded to other social media platforms, for example, to TikTok or LinkedIn. And we can also target new customer groups, for example, corporate social media accounts or marketing agencies. And that's the lovely team of Lavelio. Thank you for listening to our idea of how we want to revolutionize content creation.
Good job, Laura. We are now reaching out to our jury up in space again. I hope they return from the coffee break. Yes, everybody's safe and sound. Yeah, give us some insights. What did you like about the pitch? Where do you see room for improvement?
Yeah, I have a question. I like your idea. I think content creation will be a huge thing. It is already a huge thing. It will be even bigger in the next years. But I believe that we are entering the decade of audio. And you were just saying you were optimizing the visuals. Is there any option to include audio or other things than visual as well?
So first of all, we are now focusing on the picture content first, and the picture obviously has the picture, and the post also includes text. So that's the first option, which is also possible to include. And then we want to expand it to stories, Instagram stories, and visuals and audio, which becomes more important. So yes, we can include this as well.
Laura, I love the pitch, and I think, as you said, it has a lot of tailwind in the current environment with a lot of platforms picking up. I have two questions. First of all, I didn't hear the monetization strategy. Maybe you can quickly elaborate on that. And then the second thing, I was asking myself on a product level, I understand like a deep learning pitch to say, okay, have a lot of data coming from the platforms, and the more data they give you, the better this gets. And so derived from that, my first question would be, okay, what kind of data are they actually giving you today? So is it only amount of likes, or how do you feel success? Is it likes, visibility? And what do you do if by tomorrow Instagram says, well, API discontinued, you don't get that data anymore?
So first of all, to the monetization strategy, right now we have a one-time fee. So we are aiming for a report, which is a one-time fee, but then our model will be a subscription model based on 3 different offers. First one is the basic one, which is mainly can be targeted for even private persons who wants to just get more likes on their pictures and increase their reach. Then there will be the advanced option, where we also will include, as we said, stories. And then you have the professional version, which we really see as the most valuable offer, with the premium, and also included an industry analysis. And we also have in mind that a lot of influencers today, they are sometimes in the fashion industry, but maybe due to COVID, for example, they had to change to the sport industry and are now doing more sport influencing. And there should be also the option to even select 2 industries if you are not kind of deciding for one. And based on the data, so today we built our own algorithm to scrape the data from Instagram, which are public. So we have public accounts. And right now we download the picture link, and then we analyze them by our AI model. And right now there are likes which are influencing our reach, and then there will be also the option with an Instagram integration, obviously also to have data for saving and also sharing. And comments. Comments are right now also possible, because reach is determined by basically 4 aspects: likes, comments, sharing, and saving. And sharing and saving are not publicly available data. That's why we include right now comments and likes.
Thank you very much, Laura. That was very insightful. We have to hand it over to the next team already. Thanks for being on stage. Fingers crossed for the awards. And we are now continuing with the second finalist here on stage for the Best of Seed Award, which is Hannes from 4Pilots, and they are doing an in-cabin sensing solution. What this exactly means, we will hear from him. Hannes, the stage is yours.
Hello, I'm Hannes, and I'm a co-founder at 4Pilots. Do you want to know what we are doing in the next years? We are going to save thousands of lives. Since our talk here started today, nearly 400 people died in traffic-related car accidents. And it's most likely that they died because of one of those 4 reasons. Either the driver was drowsy, drunk, distracted, or he was rage driving. 4Pilots is going to bring a solution to everybody to solve this problem. There's 3 steps we're taking for safer traffic. The first is a real-time response to the driver, so warning him upon risky behavior like falling asleep or calming him down when he's angry. The second step is we take this data, further evaluate it, and give individualized training tips to each driver to make him safer and better. The third is the driver score. So for each commercial vehicle fleet, we are evaluating how good are the drivers of these companies and how well are they being trained. The software we are using is state-of-the-art machine learning algorithms that get smarter every day. And the hardware is, as you can see, really focused on the end user, not only keeping him safe, but also making him feel safe. For Pilot's team is perfectly equipped to handle the upcoming challenges. Mithun founded his own company working on drowsiness detection in 2017 before he came here to Germany to make his postdoc at the Leibniz Institute of Photonics. Humera worked for a company that went toe-to-toe with Google on big data and user security for the last 7 years. And I myself managed the customer relations team of a student consultant agency for the last year. With growing concern for driver safety, the market of advanced driver assistance systems is huge. It just hit $10 billion last year and is expected to grow up to $20 billion until 2025. And also commercial vehicle fleets, who are our first company, our first customer, are constantly growing. They just sold 24 million vehicles last year, and they are ready to be equipped by 4 pilots. With such a big market, of course, there is going to be competition. Not only those monitoring devices, but also the new devices that are in your modern cars. But there are 3 advantages that our company has that really set us apart: behavior analysis, design, and price. The first thing is we're not only looking at is the driver distracted or drowsy, but we're taking it one step further and looking at how are his emotions influencing his driving behavior. The second step is design. We're working together with a team from the Bauhaus University Weimar to come up with a design that is really user-friendly and focused on the end user. And the third step is price. We want to make safety accessible for everybody. So not only European and North American market, but also low and medium income countries. So if you're concerned about traffic safety, come join us at 4 Pilots and let's take safety to the next level. Thank you very much.
Yes, big round of applause. I can say that this pitch has improved a lot. I have seen the first version of it a week ago, and Hannes, great job on taking on a lot of feedback. But yeah, talking about feedback, what does our jury have to say to Hannes' pitch? Stephan, you go first.
Thanks for the great pitch indeed. Sounds like a very, very important offering that you're developing here. I would have 2 starter questions. The first one is, how far is it actually? Did we really look at the product, or is it a mock-up? So is it already existing? And the second question would be, what Lucas always asks, is it a feature or is it a business? Because my car is telling me already when my car believes I'm tired. And I could imagine that it will become more and more common in cars that they have somewhere, I don't even know where the camera is, that they have integrated already the solution that you offer as an add-on.
Yes, so there are many steps to your question. I hope I can answer them all. The first thing is, where is our company right now? So we already got the chance from the university that I'm doing my bachelor's. We already got the chance to build a proof of concept prototype, and we are done with this. And in the next 2 months, we are developing the hands-on prototype that you can see and that we are going to show to investors. So the algorithm is almost ready. We are working a little bit on the hardware side with our price. We are trying to achieve a really low price, so we are talking to different suppliers, testing out different processors that we can use. But yeah, we're really far along, and in 2 months we will show the first product. I think the second question was, is it a feature or is it really a company? It's right that your car already does a lot of analyzing. Some older car models, which is already around for the last 15 years, is detecting how are you using your steering wheel. So if you go over 70 miles per hour, it looks at, are you still steering like you did when you started the car, or are you now changing it a little bit, and with this saying that you're drowsy or not. There is something that we do different. We use cameras to really not only detect if you're drowsy, but also at are you looking at the street? And this is really important when we come to phones and other things that are distracting us. And the second thing that cars are not doing right now and will not do in the next years is looking at how our emotions influencing the driving behavior. And this is really important because in 66% of car accidents, there is emotions involved, and we want to give the user feedback that helps him calm down, and our system is going to be the co-driver that saves a lot of lives.
I relate very much to all the problems you mentioned there, and it's a tragedy how many car accidents we could actually, we didn't need to have, we could prevent them, we know it already today. I was thinking myself, don't we have that solution already for the problem, or aren't we working on it? It's called driverless driving. We can argue in 10 years, or maybe in 20 years, or some optimistics say in 5 years, the solution will be there is no driver anymore. So isn't your company working on something from the last century?
This is a good question, but you have to look at, if you look at where are car accidents happening today. Low and medium income countries, they have 40% of the cars worldwide, but have 90% of the accidents. And those countries are not going to be fully autonomous within the next 10, 20, or even 30 or 40 years. And our company has to, there are going to be so many lives lost on the road until we finish fully autonomous cars, and our company is going to solve this. And every life we are solving with our solution is worth a try, I think.
Just a comment. I really loved your pitch.
Thank you.
From my perspective, that was the best pitch I've seen so far today. Was great storytelling. It was emotional, and it coming back to what I said earlier. It answered the question, why is that important? And you're very, very, very clear about that. And yeah, I really like that. Yeah, safety makes safety accessible for everyone is a strong thing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, compliment on this. We are now looking to the third participant in this row. Thank you, Hannes, for being here on stage. And we will continue with eTerry now. eTerry is a startup from Weimar, and we are happy to have Marta here with us today. Welcome on stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Marta, and I'm here to raise awareness for something which is crucial to all of us. It's agriculture. You know, I grew up on a family-owned farm, and as you can see, I had to learn firsthand that farming is a tough business. And actually, it is becoming even tougher. Farmers have to deal with a lot of pressure to increase their yields, to produce food at the lowest possible price, and to find skilled staff. That's why monocultures are currently the status quo. However, climate change and the decline of species, for example, showed that we just cannot move on like that. We need more diverse farms that are, just high yielding and that, are just more sustainable. The problem is that managing such a farm is very complex, and farmers are currently not able to do so. They first need automated equipment that suits a diverse range of tasks, that is highly agile, and that is backed by intelligent software. Hence, we developed an agricultural robot to fill this gap, our autonomous equipment carrier system, eTerry. The patented and award-winning design of the robot is highly adaptive, as it can be varied in track width as well as in height for use in different cultures and growth stages. Most importantly, with our open interface concept, we can easily integrate sensors and tools of any manufacturer. We are deeply convinced that through collaboration and co-creation, we can create a huge application portfolio with which we can reach more. We can, allow a farming in a completely new way. So let me present to you the extraordinary team that is working towards this vision. We have Andreas Kargut as our tech and business advisor with over 30 years of experience in managing his own robotics company. Then there is me combining agriculture with business know-how, followed by Michael, who is designing the Iteri and who is our engineering brain, also from a farm. And last, there is Fabian as our extremely experienced product launch manager and industrial expert. We are supported by numerous partners, including Maxon Motors, who not only sent their technology to Mars, but with the Iteri also onto the fields. So currently, we are selling the Iteri as a specialized, or as a customized special purpose machine to public and private agricultural research. Our lead client is Bayer AG, to whom we recently sold our prototype. The next step is to develop our series system, which we will first sell to European vegetable farmers, who alone represent an annual market potential of 9 billion euro. To realize the series development, we are looking, besides our co-investor, for further investors who are willing to contribute 4 million euro. Besides investors, of course, we are always happy to get in touch with potential tool partners, with collaborators, and other supporters. So please feel free to contact us, and thank you all.
Applause from Martha. That was a great pitch. I wonder what our jury thinks about it.
I go first because I have no idea about farming and close to zero track record. The only thing I have in mind is I sat with a farmer for half day, and he explained, like a mass farmer, big farmer, and he explained me very, like I was astonished how automated, how modern today's agriculture already is. And so what I didn't really get in your pitch is, how does your product fit into this like model of a farmer? You mentioned somehow, okay, this can like help them do it like not only monoculture but different cultures. I didn't really get it. How does it change the status quo?
So the thing is, you are right. Agriculture, modern agriculture, is highly industrialized. So farmers are trained to have high yields and to do everything very efficiently. But currently, there are developments that don't allow to go so that this farming goes on for another 10 or 15 years. There is change on the way, and the change needs to be in a more sustainable way. And you can't take a 2-ton tractor and put it on such a diverse, small-scaled field. It just doesn't work, so we need different solutions, which the Iteri is one of them.
And the industry is not only highly industrialized, but also highly digitized. So I see the potential that you don't need to convince your customers to take digital products. But I would have two questions. The first one is, it looks like quite slim. I mean, what are the specs? How long does it run on the battery? I assume it's batteries. So how long does it actually run? And what is it actually doing? I mean, is it just a transportation device over the fields, or is it planting actively? What is it doing?
So, first to the technical specs. Currently, we have 2 exchangeable batteries, which go each 4 hours. So after 4 hours, you have to exchange it, and you can do an 8-hour run, which basically you can work on 1 hectare. So the battery management is a quite complicated area. So in the future, we plan to have on-field charging station where the Iteri autonomously drives in and charges itself. And the second question, sorry, could you repeat that, please?
What it actually does, and let me add quickly, what do you need 4 million for? I mean, what is it that you're doing with the money, and what do you think is you're getting out of it? You talked about the actual market size, which is like big, but how much of the market do you believe you can get?
Mm-hmm. So what it actually does, that's the good thing. It basically can do anything. So if you are a farmer and you say, okay, I want to monitor the phenotype of my plants, so to see if they have water stress or any illnesses, you can just add a special camera onto the Eteri with its open interfaces, and to just drive it across your field. Or you can also buy a tool which we are going to develop. We'll start with the seeding tool, followed by a weeding tool. So the idea is to have a platform where the farmer can put on tools that suits their needs. So they don't have to buy one robot for weeding and one robot for seeding. And yeah, the 4 million euro, I know it's quite a sum. And the thing is, we are a high-tech robotic company, and around 60% of the total sum will go into research and development, because it's highly complex, especially the software part.
Last but not least, Constanze, do you have comments on the pitch?
Not on the pitch, but I really love that you as a woman are in front here pitching for a high-tech robotic topic. I really love it.
Thank you.
And very authentically, we have to add, so it's not us pushing females here on the stage, but really like when you have the talent, that's also finding we have at Digital Space, diversity pays off. It's not just a tick in a box, but it's really adding to a great product and team as well. Thanks, Marta, for your pitch.
Thank you so much.
Fingers crossed. Now we will get back to our batch 2 participants. As I said, batch 2, that's our digital space incubation program. So these teams have gone through the 12 weeks of intensive work, starting with an idea, coming now to a prototype. And I also mentioned in the beginning that we are focusing on diverse and also international teams. And I'm very proud that we have next up here, Nichanan as a representative of the team of Conekt. They are 2 Thai founders that are based here in Leipzig, which is pretty cool, and they are working on a solution for international trade. Please welcome with me on stage, Nichanan.
Thank you, Sophie, for the stage. So my name is Nichanan. I'm the founder of B2B trading platform Conekt. Our idea started off when we were just sitting with some friends and then talking about our family business and how complex it is and what are the problems we are struggling. And then we realized that we have a lot more common than we thought. So we look into more details on if any other SME are having the same problem. So we did some research on European market and Thai market, and we found out that a lot of SMEs surprisingly have similar issues, and they're not using enough digital tools. From our research, it shows that they are using longer time to finish a trade deals. They have financial constraints, they have supply chain risk, and most important of all, 40% of German supplier and 70% of Thai supplier, they are using traditional marketing tools, which are not helping them as much as it should be. So we see the problem, and then we think, okay, how can we work on this? That's when Conekt come in. We wanted to push the SMEs to the digital era with our platform that will focus solely on ASEAN market and European market. We will provide the necessary tools that help them support their business and trade deals. And how will we do that? So we think about it a lot, and then we look at our research, and we found that 69% of the SMEs right now are saying that the tools are very complicated to use and they are not effective. So we come up with 3 things that could make us different than, such as Alibaba and the current solution are in the market. First of all, we will create exclusive community. We will only allow selective users to join our platform, creating this very professional areas and making sure that the trades are being done. And secondly, we want to create a platform that will be a 2-way platform, so that the buyer can post their details, and the supplier will have an equal chance of getting the trade deals. Third, our user experience will be amazing. We wanted to make it as easy any generation can use. So what are we in the roadmap? So right now we already identify our problem solution fits, and I have 21 users waiting list to join our platform, and we are developing right now our product and doing more recruitment to our platform. So with our ambitious goal, we want to launch in August 2021. We have a team of 7 people, including myself, that working on this project, and we are very passionate about what we do. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thanks, Nichana. Great pitch, and looking into the galaxy to our jury. What are your
Go ahead.
thoughts?
10 years ago, I had your problem. I founded a company called Winterfinger, and we sourced our first products on Alibaba. So I relate very much to your problem. And I asked myself, isn't this the pitch Alibaba does? Alibaba, a company now worth 650 billion market cap, so one of the biggest internet companies there is. And so I understand being a marketplace and being the guy who kills the king Alibaba is great. But getting there is really, really hard. And I didn't quite buy your pitch, because from what I understood is we're going to fight Alibaba by having a better UI, and we're going to limit supply, and by that we're going to kill Alibaba. And my concern was one real-world example. If all of us ever ordered on Lieferando, it's the worst product you can build. And it's still the market-defining platform. So I've never seen UI decide a marketplace.
Yes, so thank you for the feedback. So I know that our project right now sounds like Alibaba, but this is only our MVP. We are looking in the future to be supply chain management tools. So this is only starting to collect data, and then in the future we wanted to offer more tools that more into like digital tools for supply chain management. So we are going in a different direction as Alibaba, but at the starting point could sound similar.
But is it a software or is it a marketplace?
So in the beginning, we wanted to be a marketplace and then start offering some digital tools and become more like a software-oriented platform. So that's it. So yeah, for example, like right now, we wanted to gather a database to understand like what are their problems at the moment, because now we are making exclusive community. So we will really understand our customers through our community, through our platform, and then we start offering like what are the things that could help them make their supply chain more efficiency, because our goal is to help them with their supply chain management of the SME factories, manufacturers.
So if I understand correctly, a large part of your value proposition will be something like quality management, right? Because if I'm looking at being an SME in Germany, trying to source in Asia, trust would be an issue, because I don't necessarily am able to go there all the time to evaluate the financial stability or the product quality of the potential partner. Is that something that you're also offering? Did I understand it? Because that would be a lot of people involvement and not so much of a software or platform involvement.
Yes, so we are planning to have secure. That's why we have like an intensive screening process before they join our platform. So like we are going to screen them and check. There are certain platforms that you can use to screen check. There's people that suppliers and buyer, if their company are legit and if they are making sense. So that's what we're going to use to screen our customers. But yes, so we are looking to be more of like a digital solution for the supply, which is quite complicated. But yeah, we're looking to it more as a software than more as a platform. But the platform we create is to gain customers and understand them better before we launch like another project that will help with their supply chain management.
Last comment from Constanze.
Yeah, I was thinking about when listening to SMEs as your clients and then customers, I was thinking about creating trust all the time as well. Yeah. So my question would be like, how do you generate trust, and what will be your dominant way of customer acquisition?
So right now we have some network in Thailand and in Germany. That's where the market we are starting. So we are using our networks to build like trust within like, so we want to recruit people that we already know that are big player in Thailand. If they start joining our platform, then we will have a lot of trust there. And we're planning to have to be partner with some government or trade organization. We are talking to them right now. So that's how we can build trust.
Customer acquisition?
And for the customer acquisition right now, like what we are seeing is that if we are partner with some government officials or the trade organization, there are database already exists from them that they can refer to us. Right now we are talking to like a Thai trade, which will like we are talking if they can share the database to us, and they have like database for Germany as well. And we also had like a talk with IHK about it, and they are quite interested in our project.
Very good. Thank you, Nichanan, for pitching here today.
Thank you.
All the best for your business and the team. And next up, we have Akshay, who is a recent graduate from the HHL MBA program, and he will introduce his idea for an industrial sensor marketplace. Welcome, Akshay.
Thank you. Great. Welcome to Snsry. Should we start? Okay. Snsry. Welcome to Snsry. I'm Akshay. Yeah, the founder of Snsry, and with a decade of experience in the sensor industry. Snsry is a marketplace for industrial sensor. Snsry envisions to transform the global industrial sensor market on a single digital platform. Let's look at the problems faced by the sensor industry. The main actors here are the customers and the manufacturers in the industrial sensor market. Our main on this demand side, we have manufacturers who are mostly low volume and high price. On the supply side, we have the manufacturers of sensors who are basically from the Mittelstand. Together, let's look at the issues faced by our stakeholders. So basically, the stakeholders have like unbiased advisor, that is which they do not get, and they have a problem finding a product solution fit. On the other side, on the supply side, the manufacturers have issues finding the clear customer insights and are dependent on intermediaries like retailers. Great. Let's look at the Snsry solution. It's a very simple 4-step solution, and the customers try to focus. The customers try to find a solution based on either on the problem they are trying to search or the solution they are looking for. It's very simple in the sense that they can compare and make a solution and make a selection. Have to make the decision to buy and proceed with the payments. Let's look at the value proposition for customers. Is the commercial sensor solutions off the shelf that are available, tailored solutions based on the problems they are trying to solve, and a huge segment of product options that are available. How do we help the manufacturers? So through machine learning, Snsry offers data-driven insights for the manufacturers. Secondly, we also have a common ground so that the competitors can compete with each other. And we have a single large marketing channel also. The business opportunity available here is around, because the market is going to grow at 7% to $3 billion by 2026, the objective market available is $3 million. looking at the revenue model, the revenue is dependent on the premium that the manufacturers are willing to pay and the sales commission. At the roadmap, so the idea has been validated and the MVP has been launched. Now for the product launch, I need an investment of about 780,000 euros for the next 12 months. On the team, we have basically the sales and the technical team. Great, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Akshay. Yeah, you see quite a diverse set of business opportunities.
Yes.
What is the jury thinking about this sensor marketplace?
Thank you very much for your pitch. I totally understand the need in the market. Two questions from my side. The first one is, what do your potential clients, people looking for sensors, do today? So how do they solve their need today? And the second is, you're asking for quite a substantial amount of money. What would you use it for? Where is the money going into in the next couple of months?
Thank you, Dr. Stubner, for this question. So let me answer the first question. The customers right now, they have basically the sales team which try to scout which all projects are available. That is, they always, on a yearly basis, go to their customers and look whether there are some new projects. But that's what the problem Snsry is trying to solve, that the customers come through the platform to the manufacturers. So that is the data-driven approach of solving the things. And now coming to the investment needed, I have to build a team based on a team which is of machine learning or AI team of engineers and a sales team, and that is why to build that product where that investment will be required.
More questions or comments?
Thanks very much for your pitch. Really appreciate it. I struggle to map your business proposition, so let me paraphrase. I understand you're trying to build a marketplace for hardware in the specialty of sensors, so a vertical specialist. Yeah. And I understand there is existing marketplaces for hardware already, like tons of them. And now you're trying to build this vertical champion on the space. Why does the world, what is so specific about sensors that the world needs a vertical champion there?
Great. If you look at this diagram of the competition analysis, so basically Snsry provides network effects which the others do not. And the other competitors, they are more focused on earning the commission than really providing some data-driven options. Yeah. So my goal is to bring the customers and the manufacturers together on one platform, and the more they communicate, that is the better for both of them and for the platform, of course. So that is not what my competitors or so to say the other, like for example, like Conrad or Faulkner, they are trying to do. And secondly, the manufacturers themselves have their website, but obviously they do not offer, they do not see competitors. Okay, so that is, the manufacturers only offer their own products. So that is why Snsry is unique in that sense, if that answers the question.
Yeah, jury, can you give us a sign if we don't see you at the moment? If you like that answer or want more elaboration?
No, I get it. I would invite you to be more precise on this vertical champion idea, because I don't buy that there's no existing marketplaces. A close friend of mine, he's actually working a lot on those, buying as on the buy side. And so I understand, like, now the world needs a vertical champion for sensors. Okay, I don't know sensors that well, but I would invite you to be more like accurate on the sense of, okay, why is there a specialty need on the buy side or sell side on this marketplace, on this vertical champion?
The marketplaces which I know, in my best of my knowledge, what they offer is they offer either products from different supplier, from different manufacturers, or they are associated with a particular manufacturer. So, the customer always, first of all, doesn't have the very clearest choice. And more importantly, what the customer is looking for is a solution for a problem. And that is what Snsry provides. So that means you can search the product. You can search a product based on the problem you are facing or the solution. For example, a machine is broken, so that is the problem you have, or you have a particular machine which needs a particular sort of sensor. So based on, let's say you take a photograph, and that will help you find which particular sensor you need. So that's why the machine learning algorithm that will learn smartly what sort of problems are there and what sort of solutions are there to address these problems. So I don't think that there may be some, but not a lot of solution providers like this, or a lot of marketplaces which do in that way specifically for industrial sensors.
All right, let me have a look one more time at the jury. Are there any more open points or comments, Constanze?
Just
any
adding,
feedback?
I like that people are trying to digitize our German Mittelstand. I think it's badly needed. Thanks for doing that.
No, actually, my questions would have been comparable. I get the point that there's kind of an asymmetric distribution of information in this market, and that this is a risk. And I would advise building the pitch around that. I liked your vertical championship idea. Maybe you just take that and make it a bit more tangible and understandable for someone who's not getting the sensor market, because it's a very special market.
Yes, thank you for this feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Akshay. All the best for you. Yeah. And before we continue with our two final pitches, I mentioned this already. So the Best of Seed Award is supposed to be granted to a team from Central Germany. And we have reached the point where you have seen all our teams from Central Germany, and we want you to make a vote now. You can go into our streaming portal, and then on the right side, you will see a ranking option where you see the teams that were on stage so far. And we would like to ask you to vote for your top three. So that means first place, number one. Second place is, the team you like second best, and the third one in the same manner. And if you have done this, we will close the voting in a few minutes already, because we need some time to combine this with the jury. Actually, the jury doesn't have to make a common vote, so they can do their own best guess, what they think is going to fly in the future. And you should all use your vote, because I know a lot of the teams have advertised their ideas and want to get further support, and these 3,000 euros are actually a great advantage to proceed in the future. So please make use of this, support your favorite team. If it's two, yes, you have 3 votes, but only number one can get the prize in the end. I think that's clear so far. Everybody, please, if you are on the YouTube stream, unfortunately, you cannot vote. We have made this exclusive to the teams or to the viewers that are in the streaming platform that registered previously until last night via our Eventbrite website. If you're on YouTube and still would like to give a shout out, feel free to reach out to the teams or use the Mantessa app we showed you previously, so you can make sure you're supporting your teams. So, voting will be closed in a minute, but we have 2 more teams to go. And the next one is completely different field. As you have seen a lot of different industries today already, the next one is a virtual pitch that, due to personal reasons, we had to pre-record. There was a little emergency today, and we will see now the recorded pitch of Reach and its founder, Andy. please show
Hello
us the
there.
video.
My name is Andy. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Reach. And we made it our mission to provide an entire generation with confidence in their financial future. As you probably know from your kids, yourself, from your friends, that Gen Y has a lot of goals. They want to buy a house, a new car, and who the hell wants to work until 67? But to achieve those goals, you need a plan, a financial plan to be exact. The big question is where to get this plan. You could research it yourself on the internet, but there's not enough coffee in the world to be able to do that. You could ask your friends and family, but have you ever asked your mom for financial advice? Or you could go to a professional, to a financial advisor, but you'll probably leave with the product that his boss told him to sell this week. So pardon my French, but all options suck. That is why we as Reach, we want to offer a free and individual financial plan and the easy implementation as a paid-for mobile subscription. Is there no app for that? You're asking probably yourself. Let's have a look at them. There is robo-advisors, but they only really focus on securities and they're not really based on your life, on your goals. You could have a look at account aggregators, but they only tell you what you've been doing wrong in the past and not what you should do right in the future. And you have savings managers, but with roundups and very short-term focus, they're not really helping you with your strategy. So, not really. Now, how do we want to do this? We want to look at your goals, for example, buying a house, retiring early. We want to then give you a personalized financial plan and automate the implementation within our app, including the financial products you need. And then we keep you on track. We keep you updated on your progress. And if your life changes, so does your plan. Do people even care about this? 350 people do on our waitlist, and we reached out to them for less than €1 per sign-up. We even provided for over 30 people with their individual financial plan for less than €3 per plan. The market can be extended quite a bit. We are looking at 1.7 Germans in the target age group, but we can expand into other age groups and across Europe, even the world. Who are we? My founder, who still wants to be incognito as he's currently employed as the lead digital officer at a large German private bank. He is an experienced founder. Myself, I have 10 years of experience in finance and fintech, and I'm hosting a finance podcast. Currently, we have done our hacked MVP. We now develop a WordPress MVP to test monetization and to prove our monetization model. And then once we have proven that, we're looking to scale as an app. And for that, we're currently building a long list of potential investors. And if you want to be on that long list, please do reach out to us. We are happy to get your messages. And thank you very much for your attention.
All right. Yeah, that was a recorded pitch, as we said already. And Andy will have the opportunity to view the recording later on. We would still like to ask the jury if they have any comments or feedback for Andy and his incognito team member, how to improve on his pitch, or if you see a great investment potential for you. So jury, are you with me? Jury, we are asking you what you think about the pitch.
Liked it very much. Good. I think the world needs, especially it's now the time to build fintechs.